Yo, 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 how are you guys doing? We got an emergency job to do today. We've been in Richmond line rendering all week, and we've got here to Windsor for 8 o'clock, so it's a bit of a lay-in this morning. It was a nice pleasant drive through Windsor Great Park, and we are here to fix this. So, it's plastering our ceiling. That's not a ceiling anymore, it's now become a floor. So we're going to make the rest of this become a floor and put a new ceiling up basically. Now we was here a few months ago on the flat downstairs dealing with the flat downstairs which had exactly the same situation, and yeah, we had to take it all down. So as you can see then, plaster and lath. This building is about 200 years old. So let's have a look what's going on. It's an emergency job because this stuff's dangerous. This starts falling down and lands on you. It's gonna, cause some damage. Any furniture in here. So what happens is, as you can see, they put the laths up, if you don't know. And this is made of like sand, lime, and it's got horsehair in it. And they push the plaster up and it goes in through the slats and it kind of mushrooms out over the back of the slats. So this is the line here that's been mushrooming out. So this is where the weak point is. And just over time they crack here and it loses that bond onto the slats. And that's why suddenly it comes down. Now, some people would say overboard this, but there's so much of this has already come down anyway. We might as well have the rest of it down, and I'm quite happy to do that, to be honest with you, because it takes all the weight out of it. It's quite a lot of weight up there, the plaster. It's amazing it stays up there in the first place. So yeah, we're going to have this down and we're going to reboard it. One little tricky thing, we've lost it. We're going to try and keep this profile around the edges as best we can. That one's failed. We might have to just lose that first one and take it back to the main body of the cove in there. And they are mouldings, that is moulded up there. So we'll have to see how we get on with that. We might have to get like the multi-tool, but the multi-tool, sometimes it vibrate a little bit too much, it can upset stuff, so especially on something like this. So we'll see what we can do with that, we'll see how we get on. So first things first, we're gonna break this up into little pieces and get it bagged up and get it out before we do anything else. So, day of extreme fun. Oh, and this stuff is bloody dusty as well, so I recommend if you're taking down plaster on our ceiling, get some masks and open the windows. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if it hadn't gone too bad, maybe you could have gone overboarded it, but I prefer to get it off. And even if you do overboard it, you don't know how deep that plaster and lath is. I mean, you can feel when you get that screw up into a piece of wood, but you've got to find the joists and everything. So I quite like getting it down and you can see exactly what's going on up there. Also, I don't like putting screws in ceilings when I don't know what's going on. It's such an old property, anything could be going on up there, wires and, pipes, anything. And plus, the screws, you'd have to use 100mm screws or something to get through into that. You just don't know what you're doing. So we've got 12.5mm board. We've got to get through the laths, which is going to be maybe 5mm, and then we're into the joists then, so we can see them. So I think I've gone, I can't remember, I'll have to look, but I think we're either 42 or 49mm screws, so 12.5, and then the rest goes into, through the laths and into the wood, and we get a really good purchase for that. So yeah, it saves on screwing up. Okay, so today we're using the Werner platform. We did a review of the hop-ups in another video not so long ago, reviewing this. And then this one as well, which hasn't got the extendable legs. So we're going to be using that with a crate on top. And this one, as you can see, has got the extendable legs. It's got about 10 seconds there. Just having a little bit of an issue with this one. So we've bent these little flaps back. And so these little pins in here are not disengaging very well. Is it working better?
It is a bit. It's like you got.
I think something's bent in there. It's catching.
No, there's a certain point you can get. It gets a good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But if you do it there, it don't want to come out.
But yeah, other than that, it's great. As you can see, This button controls the up and down of the legs, and these buttons control the legs opening and closing, and the whole thing actually shuts flat. But yeah, I'm going on about them. Have a look at the other video, we did it, review, hop-ups. As you see, this is what we're working off. We're working off the hop-ups, so just get the extra height on this one off the crate as well. The extra length one, look, got a nice big griller tub. I was talking about griller tubs in that other video as well, actually. These are the ones with the pitted handles, which are the better ones. So what we're going to do, we need to nibble this off little bit by little bit, because it's really easy to keep going. And there's a flat beneath us, and we plastered the ceiling on the one that's directly underneath us. So we don't want massive big lumps of chunks of this coming down, smashing on the floor, and then knocking off our plaster ceiling that's downstairs. That would be the last thing we want. So the other thing to note about this, and this is quite common as well, this plaster and last ceiling has had paper over it, and it's surprising how sturdy that paper makes it, okay? So what we need to do, and I'm just using this old scraping trowel which is bent and stuff, and it's not got much of a tang on the end of the, so all we're going to be doing, just with our hand, we don't want it to rupture and macerate a bit and fall out. We're just going to ease that off bit by bit, drop it in the tub, just be bloody careful. Whoa. It's going to start coming down like that. So we're going to continue doing this for just half a day, getting this down, and it's going to keep the dust down as well. We're going to fill that tub up, and then we're going to take it from the tub and put it in the plastic bags, bag it all up, and just get this ceiling down in that manner. Nice and easy, little bits and pieces at a time. I mean, if it was a concrete floor and was downstairs, you know, I mean, I'm sure you could get a shovel behind it and just add it all down, you know, but it's more of a case of dismantling this one rather than going at it all gung-ho, so that's what we're going to do. So yeah, this is the stuff that's coming off, look. See the old horsehair in there? I mean, like I say, this building's 200 years old. That horsehair, I'm going to assume, is around 200 years old. So it's, yeah, it makes you think sometimes, doesn't it? You can see the depth of it, look. So we've got all bits of sand and grit in there. I'd say there'd be a load of lime. Even that little piece is heavy. That's why it's important, you know, to get this sort of stuff remedied, because it can cause some damage. Just trying to turn my phone on to record this clip, and I couldn't understand why it wouldn't face recognise me. We're getting there. Let's say bit by bit, it's coming off. Just need to be cautious with it. Oh yeah. Right. I'm going to get out of this dust for a minute. Okay, so we're getting close to this profile edge. This one here, I think we're going to lose. It's not too bad on this stretch, but on other bits it looks like it's cracked straight through it. So we're going to take the ceiling back to this line. Yeah. I've been doing it, trying to do it gently with a hammer and chisel, but it's going to take forever. So that's why I've opted for this multi-tool. See, it clips on like so, and I've used this circular blade. I'm not expecting this blade, hold on Shane, I'm not expecting this blade to last very long on this material, but obviously it's really cool to, it just vibrates. I'm just going to run across, get a nice line all the way around, so that when we get close to this pulling off this stuff that's closer to the edge, it doesn't rupture this main body of this moulding. But I think that's made of something slightly different, so it's a bit stronger. So that's what we've got to do. We're going to multi-tool all the way around the edge. Let there be light. it did a good job. You can see it's carved quite a nice straight line, just chopping out. So yeah, like I say, we're going to lose this one because you can see that a crack has gone all the way through that, and this is actually a separate moulding which is on top of the plaster and lath, whereas this is actually not the ceiling, so they must have put this up and then plaster and lath to it, I'm guessing. Who knows? But yeah, this little multi-tool, so that, look at that, it seems to be the perfect tool for this, combined with that little blade. I mean, we could have done it with an angle grinder, but you think it's dusty now, you put an angle grinder on that, it's going to be like you won't be able to see your mate across the room. Plus, it's probably a bit too aggressive, and you probably have more chance of damaging the actual coving. So I wanted to get that line in there sooner rather than later, because when this stuff comes off, as one bit comes off, it ruptures the next bit, ruptures the next bit, ruptures the next bit. So I didn't want to get too close to this and have it ruptured. I wanted that line in there now, so it causes a little stress point. So if it does go, hopefully it should crack just on that line and give us a really, really nice line to get our plasterboards up to, and also then plaster. So I'm just taking a break from all that dust and everything. I just had a comment from NodRod269 requesting that I do some shout outs for the followers and maybe some birthday messages. I went, what is this, Radio 2? Okay. Happy birthday, NodRod, whenever it is. Oh, and just before you guys do get any funny ideas, I'm not going to be taking any messages from anybody called Mr. Michael Hunt or P.I. Staker or anything like that. You'll have to do well to catch me out on that one. Hugh Jampton. So there we go, look. This is why I don't like putting screws blindly over tacking things. Look, see them sneaky little wires just sitting just above the lathes. Very easy just to snag something like that and cause an electrical fault. And then what you're going to do, you've got to pull the whole thing down and try and find out where the screw's gone through. Yeah, they're resting right on top. Blonde horse. Okay, so we've got the whole ceiling down. I'm quite happy we've got a nice clean edge. It can make good 2 round on that coving. We're leaving the lathes up, we'll go over them. They're not going to hurt anybody staying up. Plus, you know, it'd be more waste to get rid of, and we'd have to spend a load of time getting those rusty old nails out or banging them in. There'll be hundreds of them, thousands of up there, so we're just going to leave them up there. And the next thing to do, get cleaned up and get this lot down 2 flights of stairs. 35 bags of rubble. That, my friends, is a perfect example of what happens as a living creature in this world. You come into existence, move stuff around, and then disappear from existence. And if you happen to be human, you can throw paying taxes into that bundle as well. But you know, all that said and done, don't forget to make a little bit of honey along the way. So NodRod did message me back. It turns out it is his birthday today, and he's 40 years old. So Happy birthday, Nodrog. Okay, so we're all cleaned up in here. So we've got a prop which is just long enough to get and hold these sheets of plasterboard up. Now you may ask why we're using these smaller sheets. They're the 1800 by 900s, I think, because they're the ones I can fit in my van, and also we've got a really narrow stairway to get up, so we won't get in big sheets up there. The screws we're using, just your regular drywalls, 42mm, and like I say, remember we've got to get through those lathes and into the joists. So this is 12.5 thick, so your screw's going to sit flush for that, so that shows you, how much purchase we're going to be getting. Okay, just if you haven't ever cut plasterboard before, come and have a look. So our measurement is 139. We need 4 left to be 139. So what I tend to do with the back of the Stanley knife there, just mark with a V. So I don't know if that V's coming through. Okay, I've already marked the one on the bottom. Get your straight edge. The reason I mark a V is because you can see how far away you are from the exact point. If you draw just a single line, sometimes you might be at an angle and you'll get, you won't know which end of the line to go to. So there we go, line those V's up, run your Stanley knife up. It's well handy if you've got a sharp Stanley knife. Give it a good score. Give it a tap on the opposite side. Pop. And round with your Stanley knife on this side. All the way up. And you should.
Carefully, you're right.
Yeah, I'm going to be careful, man, don't I? Kenny Everett, handyman. So, there you go. That's how to cut a piece of plasterboard. Okay, it's just coming up to 3 o'clock and we have pretty much run out of materials because that's all I could bring with me today. But I'm quite happy where we are. We've got half the ceiling taxed. Obviously, the worst bit was getting all the old lath down the stairs and bagged up outside. There's not much more to say really. We're going to pop to Wickes and get the rest of our materials, but on the way through might pop into the castle and have a cream tea on the lawn with King Charles, because he always likes to see us, doesn't he, when we're in town. So yeah, we will carry on with this video tomorrow. I think one thing just to add, really, if you've never tacked before, just quickly, joists are going this way, so your boards have to go this way, and then every joint kind of needs to be staggered over 3 boards. So next time we go up, our next joint on this side will be in line with this one, just to show you the sliding, so it will come there. So yeah, quite happy. So tomorrow all we've got to do is finish off this tacking and then plaster it. Notice as well, as I was expecting, up on the these old joists and stuff, they're going to be all over the place, especially because we left all the slats, the lathes up there as well, and bits up there. So we're gonna have a bit of work to do to try and straighten this out a little bit along this profile, but it's looking pretty good. I'm quite happy. So we'll have it all done, and the client can move back in on Sunday night.